Hello, we are a House of Cats, but it's not always all that.
Alrighty, folks, so welcome in. If it's your first time here, I'm Fritz from the House of Catz, and we're gonna be playing Solasta II today. I am incredibly grateful to be able to play this game a little bit before it comes out. I'm fucking stoked. We here at the house have literally been waiting for this game for a very long time. We're sad to find out that Solasta wasn't co-op when we looked into it, but we made do. We literally played Solasta 1 around our TV in our living room off of one laptop. And when we heard that this one was going to be co-op, we were very excited. We're gonna be playing through this blindly. You're gonna get to experience with me, experience being lost, experience finding our way, experience the story firsthand. And I'm gonna put that this is a walkthrough, but really it should be called a stumble through, because we're just gonna be experiencing this game as we should. I am not a pro gamer. I am not an expert strategist, but what I'm really good at is enjoying games. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go through it all. Get ready to see me make my character for 30 minutes, because that's what we're gonna do. And then we're off, okay? And get a recommended difficulty. What statement fits you best? I'm familiar with Solasta 1 or the 5-year rule set, and I enjoy tactical challenges. True. I know the basics, but prefer slightly more forgiving experience. I'm new and I want a smooth introduction. Nah, throw me in there, all right? We've played D&D, we've played Solasta 1. I'm ready for like a light spanking. Light, preferably. Campaign information. The Mark of Marike. Follow the fate of the Kalwal family across the continent of Neokos. Authentic mode. Oh, how did that happen? Yeah. Yes, I think we're definitely gonna go for authentic mode. They're only a campaign, starting level 1. Let's make our party. Okay, we're gonna delete all that. I want to make everyone from scratch. Don't at me. Alright. Quick creation. Quickly create a character. Select class, ancestry, and background. Advanced creation. Step-by-step character creation for experienced players. Select pre-made. Select a pre-made character from the Solasta II archive. Okay, I'm gonna click on this so we can kind of see what they have already for us. And then we're gonna go in and probably do advanced creation. We've got Leonore, a fighter elf wanderer. Zoe, a rogue halfling spy. Eric, a cleric dwarf acolyte. Thanael, a wizard elf academic. Blaine, a paladin human aristocrat. And Jane, a sorcerer human occultist. All right. I got a little good selection there. I am gonna just go ahead and click on advanced creation. Let's see. What am I feeling in my heart of hearts? What's interesting is I've never played a game like this solo. So now instead of what role I'm gonna play, it's like, okay, what roles do you want in your party? Which is an interesting shift. I definitely want a rogue because I want to rob people blind. Duh. I'm gonna say I need a cleric. Probably. I do like a paladin frontline. I think I'm gonna go cleric, paladin, rogue, wizard. Let's start with the cleric. So cleric has frontline, healer, and support. Core abilities are wisdom, complexity, intermediate, hit die a d8 with charisma and wisdom saving throws. Some skill choices here: history, insight, medicine, persuasion, or religion. Gets 3 cantrips and some equipment. Divine order is either protector, trained for battle. You gain proficiency with martial weapons and training with heavy armor, or thaumaturge. You know 1 extra cantrip from the cleric spell list. In addition, your mystical connection to the divine gives you a bonus to your intelligence, arcana, and religion checks. The bonus equals your wisdom modifier. So an extra cantrip and a bonus to intelligence checks equal to my wisdom modifier. And my saving. Okay. Core ability is wisdom. I kind of want to do that. But yeah, I think because I'm doing it more as a support, I think I'm gonna go thaumaturge. Tell me in the comments what I'm doing wrong. So I can learn for my next playthrough. Alright, we can be a dwarf, an elf, a halfling, or a human. The dwarf, one of the ancient dwellers of Solasta. Dwarves are naturally skilled miners and craftsmen, blocky and sturdy. They are fierce warriors and keepers of ancestral cultural tradition. Elves are some of the most ancient dwellers on Solasta and used to rule a powerful empire before Cataclysm. They are naturally gifted with magic, agile, and fast. They have innate resistances and keen senses. Halflings. The original halflings evolved in the marshes on the northeast part of Solasta before spreading south, following the river and reaching the sea. They are short and nimble and are known for bravery despite their size. And then there's humans. Originally born on Tirmar and brought to Solasta before the Cataclysm, humans have adopted to their new world thanks to their unique talents. Able to live anywhere and take any job, they are versatile above all else. Yep, that's us, humans. Our special trait is versatility. The human. I think I might make my cleric an elf. You have an advantage on saving throws you make to avoid or end the charmed condition. Keen senses, insight, perception, and survival skill. Magic can't put you to sleep, which would be really useful for a healer. High Elf, you know, the Firebolt cantrip. Whenever you finish a long rest, you can replace that cantrip with a different cantrip from the wizard spell. Sylvan Elf, your speed increases to 35. Yeah, no, it'd definitely be High Elf. Brave, you have advantage on saving throws you make to avoid or end the frightened condition. You can move through the space of any creature that is a size larger than you, but you cannot stop in the same space. That's pretty useful. When you roll a 1 on a d20 test, you can reroll a die. Naturally stealthy. Also pretty useful. You gain heroic inspiration whenever you finish a long rest. When you fail an attack or a saving throw, you spend your heroic inspiration to reroll the dice. What is versatile? You gain an origin feat of your choosing. Okay. Yeah, let's do the Heil. Academic. Improve ability scores, dexterity, constitution, intelligence. Your parents were soldiers of the kingdom of Galavan, and they were killed during the last war. Lord Colwell brought you back from the front line to his wife's orphanage, telling you about your origins when you grew up. You dreamed of visiting the homeland of your ancestors, and finally you went there, where you joined the Tower of Knowledge and participated in the renaissance of the institution. You learn 2 cantrips of your choice from the wizard spell list. The cantrips will be the best of your intelligence, wisdom, or charisma as your spellcasting ability. You also choose a level 1 spell from the wizard spell list. This spell is always prepared. You can cast it once without a spell slot per long rest. You can also cast it using any spell slots you have. Acolyte. Constitution, intelligence, and wisdom. Caregiver. A character's personality determines their speech style and tone, as well as the type of answers they will propose during the interactive discussions with NPCs. Religion and medicine, herbalism kit, cleric. Interesting. So this is definitely on the list. Okay.
That might be so, but we still haven't worked out what we're supposed to be doing yet.
I thought I heard movement. Maybe saw something, but I wasn't sure.
You must need help with something. This is the place. I remember being here.
So I'm part of the family that Oh, I see. The last name, I can't change it. So whoever the character is, yeah, is part of the family. Interesting. Sliders on sliders. Hmm. Oh, I love me some freckle. They're honestly kind of in a she's the cleric, right? Maybe not. Yeah. Okay, hairstyle options. I gotta say, yay for textured hair. So we have artist, improves ability scores, dexterity, wisdom, charisma. Granted skills, insight, and performance. Aesthetic. You have a creative talent, either inborn. You have a creative talent, either inborn or developed through years of work and practice, that has provided you with a living, be it music, painting, sculpture, acting, or some other form of artistic expression. Your reputation has spread and people will pay for your works. After being an entertainer in the orphanage, you ventured out, looking for mentors to elevate your skills. Aesthetic. You eschew the world and its material concern, devoting yourself to spiritual and intellectual perfection. Luxury and even comfort are anathema to you. Anathema. For they soften the spirit and distract the mind from what is truly important. After leaving the Colewall orphanage, you spent a long time alone reflecting on your life and its meaning. Before you got the message that brought you back to your origins at the orphanage. That's interesting. I think after putting that amount of highlighter on my character, there's no way I could go aesthetic. Maybe. Huh? No. I mean, apparently we're all family. So, like, it's in the story. But I am thinking I might, instead of having to do this for 4 characters on my own, I might go with, like, the suggested characters. Right. Versus, like, when we all play together, and then it's like, okay, yeah, I want to pick every single thing about my character. I mean, I've already spent 45 minutes on this one, and I am 3 out of the 6 tabs through. Lawkeeper. You have an instinct for spotting trouble and the force of personality to nip it in the bud. Having already investigated the bad deeds of other kids in the orphanage, later you had a chance to join a local militia and eventually ended up in Care Syphlin among the sitting guard. Low life. Tool proficiency explicit. Born in the streets, you have always been disregarded by most commoners and learned to survive with the close to nothing, which made you a tough and resolved individual. One day you are found by Lord Colewall and given the chance at a better life in his wife's orphanage. Manners and educations are not your strong suit, but you have learned to compensate with other qualities. Occultist. During your time at the orphanage, you were always attracted to hidden and forbidden knowledges. Where others follow well-trodden academic paths, you strike out in the intellectual unknown, which is as surprising and as dangerous as any literal wilderness. You left to pursue your obsessive interests and found a master of the occult, of a kind you had never heard of before, who told you about many secrets of the power of the stars and the magic under the earth. Philosopher. You were found in the ruins of the Snow Alliance's borders after the war against Scalavan, and were brought to the orphanage by a retiring cleric. After spending years growing up in the Colewall orphanage, you returned to where you thought you belonged, in Valkarokapun, and became one of Gorm the Wise's students, but the call for adventure remained present in your mind. Sellsword. Found in the streets at a young age, you were already a fighter. After leaving the orphanage, your predispositions for battle led you to enlist a mercenary company. Enough to have some stories to tell about soldiering and battles, and your time at the famous city of Koperin in the Stonefist Company. Spy. You were once a hostage from a noble family in the kingdom of Galavan, and lived in a small castle as a groom. But one day, your steward learned that your family had been wiped out by the Sorax, and you had no political value anymore. You were entrusted to the Colwell orphanage, but always kept the scars of rough diplomacy in your veins, and eventually worked as an aide in an embassy, where you learned the craft and the ways of various intelligence services. Wanderer. You were found by villagers and brought to Colwell orphanage at a very young age. No one knew where you'd come from. Perhaps you just ran away from home. After your time at the orphanage, the Wanderlust took over that led you to the so-called Lost Valley, where you discovered wonders beyond your imagination. Academic. Your parents were soldiers of the kingdom of Galavan, and they were killed during the last war. Lord Colwell brought you back from the front line to his wife's orphanage, telling you about your origins when you grew up. You dreamed of visiting the homeland of your ancestors, and finally you went there, where you joined the Tower of Knowledge and participated in the renaissance of the institution. Acolyte. You were found as a baby in front of the Colwell orphanage. During your time there, you followed the teachings of your adoptive mother, Mahin, who was once a cleric of Maraik. She never forced you to follow her own religion, but you got used to helping during mass and learned the basics of church life. Then you left for Einarim to learn about religion, supported by your adoptive father, who had high-placed friends there. And aristocrat. After a few years at the Coldwell orphanage, you were offered to live in a castle as a groom by one of your adoptive father's relatives. So you left to spend a few years learning the tricks and etiquette of nobility, as well as intricacies of titles and lineage and heritage. Okay, so for her, I think the cleric, I'm definitely gonna do acolyte. I'm just gonna go with the auto. Okay, made wisdom. Okay. Strength. Interesting. I'm interested that they made strength my second. I think. Give me more constitution. And maybe charisma, right? Like, I'm not sure. Okay. I'm gonna go with that then. Proficiencies. Select skill proficiencies, granting a proficiency bonus on ability checks of this type. I already have religion and wisdom and medicine. I think insight and persuasion, I guess. Or should it be history? I just feel like my intellect isn't very high, so I'm gonna go with charisma. Perception or survival? Perception. I'm an elf, so I should be. Okay. Some cantrips to learn. We have Dazzle. The target is dazzled. They can't take reactions until the start of their next turn. That's pretty good. Divine Shield. Grants the target 1d8 of temporary hit points until the start of their next turn. Guidance adds 1d4 to all the target's ability checks for up to a minute. Holy Conduit. On hit, deals 1d6 of radiant damage The target and each enemy within 5 feet of it can also take an additional 1d4 of radiant damage. We have light. Creates a light source on a target. Sacred Flame deals 1d8 of radiant damage, negated by dexterity save. Resistance, the target will take 1d4 or less damage of the type of your choice. Spare the dying. Stabilizes a dying target. The target remains unconscious, has 0 health points. Have to make a death saving throws anymore. Okay. I get 3 of these. I do think I'm gonna take Divine Shield. Holy Conduit to have some kind of damage. Dazzle seems pretty good. Oh. This is a melee hit. I think actually I'm gonna take Sacred Flame instead. And I guess Spare the Dying. Be my healer. Okay, and then I get an extra one because of Thaumaturge, which I feel like guidance will help us throughout. Talking Grass. On hit, deals 1d8 of lightning damage and prevents the target from making opportunity attacks. Ooh, that'll be pretty useful. It's a melee hit. One d10 of psychic damage. Interesting. That's pretty sick. But I'm not going to be the main DPS anyways. 1d10 of necrotic damage and prevents the target from regaining hit points until the start of your next turn. Annoying Bees! Deal 1d8 piercing damage. Target also has disadvantage on concentration saving throws until the start of your next turn. Okay. Ray of Frost on hit deals 1d8 of cold damage and the target is hindered until the start of your next turn. Poison Spray on hit deals 1d12 poison damage. Okay. Acid Splash. I think the necrotic, the chill touch, honestly. Just being able to stop someone from healing is pretty sick. Also, I'm gonna have a lot of cantrips. Okay. I guess having a light spell is gonna be helpful. Bane. Subtract 1d4 from the house attack roll, from the target's attack rolls and saving throws. Plus 1d4 to the target's attack rolls and your wounds. A heal. I think I should take 2d8, but it is melee. Guiding bolt. Healing word, not melee. 2d4 hit points. Yeah. Alright, we're gonna take that. I don't even need this. Okay, I finished one character. Yay! We're just gonna fill my party. Rogue Wizard Fighter. Okay, I wanted a rogue wizard and a paladin, but that's fine. We can do fighter. But I will just make them look the way that I want to. We're not gonna do a dwarf rogue. I'm sorry. That's not... No. No, that's not the tea. Okay, a halfling rogue. Okay, okay. And you're gonna be a lowlife. Sorry about it. And we're gonna do an all-female crew. I know. Straight up. Be ready for your 3-hour per character customization. No. Yeah. Yeah, and he takes like the tiniest little bite. Yeah, like from where? Yeah. Where's it at? Yeah, okay. Oh my god, we watched it yesterday. Yeah, don't.
hello. Nice to meet you.
That might be so, but we still...
You must need help with something.
Okay. Think that we can start our adventure. Alright, we have Ams, which is a cleric elf. An acolyte that learned from her adoptive mother kind of like the ropes of cleric and the basics of religious life. Yeah. We have Rosalia. You know, she's a rogue. She is a lowlife. Little outlaw, but it's because she was born in the streets. It's always been disregarded by most commoners and learned to survive with close to nothing. He's a rogue. We have Agnes, Aggie for short. Wizard human academic. After leaving the orphanage, she learned the Tower of Knowledge and participated in the Renaissance of the institution. And then we have Corey. They are a sellsword fighter. Always a fighter, and your predispositions for battle led you to enlist in the mercenary company. They are all orphans from the Holwell family orphanage. They've all come from different places, but they are family. And we're ready to start. The character creation here took me way longer than anticipated, so I am going to be splitting this and the beginning into 2 videos. If you're interested in seeing where the playthrough goes, where the party goes, then make sure to check our next video. Make sure you hit the like button, that you subscribe, so you can see what we got in store for us. We're the House of Catz, Verts, and we're just a bunch of goofy goobers doing goofy goober things. Gonna be doing a lot more of these play together videos because I'm playing a lot more solo player games and story games, so keep an eye out. Love y'all. Goodbye.